50, 40, 30, 20, 10. Retard, retard, retard.
Hello, good evening. How are you all doing? Nice to see you all. Mark, hello. Lee, hello to you. Oh, my microphone. Hang on. My microphone just collapsed here. Hold on, give me a second. So, test, yep. My microphone just came off. It just literally fell down. How weird. Okay, once again, thank you so much. Welcome to Mark, Lee, my new moderators. Hello to you. Geep, hello to you. And who else do we have? Indian Virtual Aviation, nice to see you as well. Danny, hello to you. Emil, hello. Voyager, moin. Cucumber Bush, Helmer, and Luke. Big round of applause for Luke, who has renewed the membership 3 months now. Luke, thank you so much for that. Let me just restart my chat bot. How have you all been? Hope you're all doing good. Frederick, hello. MAN, nice to see you. Are you flying along, MAN? Then, who else do we have? Emil, hello. How are you doing? And Sapphire, hello to you. Nice to see you too. Alex, hi. Lila Pilot, hello to you. And Forward, gute wie geht's dir? 777 Bob, nice to see you. Thanks 777 Bob for all the messages regarding FLAI. Thank you so much for your work. And Larry, hello to you. Nice to see you all. Thanks for watching. Thanks for tuning in. A pleasure as always. Man, it's been a busy week. Lots of stuff happening. Got lots of stuff to talk about. Man, it's been exciting. Where are we? We are in Catania. It is beautiful Alitalia. No, I was going to say Alitalia, but it's not. It's ITA. Andrew, hello to you. Luke, Salzburg was absolutely beautiful. I posted some pictures on my Instagram account. And man, it was absolutely gorgeous. Let me just start some Tulka Pro. So really gorgeous weather as well. I've actually got a video of the landing there. I was actually hoping for a circling, but the wind was such, it was only like 4 or 5 knots tailwind for a 115, so they wouldn't give 3-3 approaches. Obviously, because the 3-3 approaches take you right of the city, which causes some noise at the city. MAN, I'm actually going to be on standby duty from Monday morning onwards, so I've got to go to Frankfurt back on Sunday. Yeah, so it's busy. I'll talk about that during the stream as well. Talk about all the things that have happened. We'll talk about the 777 incident from Air France in Paris. And actually, we were there. I'm not sure exactly. Was that the 6th it happened regarding 777? Because we were there, I think 5th and the 7th we were there. So we didn't really notice anything on that. But yeah, what a scary incident. From the recordings, you could think that they were actually close to crashing. So I just need to start FSCR PC as well. Just see if I can get that working. There we go. It was on the 6th. Yeah, I thought so, because we were there 5th and 7th, but not the 6th. Oh, nice. Okay, so MAN. Well, I tell you what, MAN. If you private message me your flights, I can let you know if I get called out on any of those flights. Yeah, it was very close to a crash, and you could hear the one of the pilots who was accidentally pressing the push to talk button on the yoke. You can hear his distress while he was fighting with the aircraft, trying to get control over it. It's going to be extremely interesting to find out whether or not it was pilot error or it actually was a mechanical issue. And if it was a mechanical issue, man, that's gonna cause some big waves. Right, as always, kind request from my side. We've got the Ask bot working, so !ask, and I can see Lila Pilot has already posted a question. He's asking, are you hyped for Sim Update 10 in July? DX12, DLSS, and the new cloud turbulence system. Lilo Pilot, thanks for posting that info on the Discord today. That keeps me up to date as well. Really helps. And yeah, of course. I mean, if there's any improvements regarding performance and especially cloud turbulence system. Now, turbulence system definitely something I'll be excited about. So yeah, looking forward to it. July, it's winter, April, May. Okay, so it's a bit to go, but still, yeah, something to look forward to. Also, PMDG dropping another news out. Was it today even? Yeah, regarding their progress. So they are saying they're on the final stretch, really. So they are about to make a decision on whether or not or when to drop an info on when the PMG 737 will be released for Microsoft Flight Sim. That is exciting news as well. Good. Today's program is as follows. So we're going to start out with the flight here from Catania to Mykonos. Yeah, Voyager, that's perfectly fine. So Mykonos is actually an airport that has an interesting runway layout, and I've actually got a little file which is published already on the subscriber channel on Discord. Let me just show you guys. So we're doing a flight to Mykonos. And Mykonos Airport is a challenge. Now we're flying there in real life. I'm flying there as well in real life, although I've not had it yet. But we do have a pretty good computer-based training program, and I've just taken some notes from that and put it on a little file here. So it doesn't matter if you fly towards 3-4 or do the circling 1-6. That airport really has a lot of threats, as we call them. And talking about threats, yesterday I was flying as well in the storm, and boy, that was a tough day. My God, being the fact that it was the last day of a 5-day rotation, which was quite fatiguing. Meaning we had lots of flight hours, lots of delays, lots of issues with ground handling. And then on the last day, obviously, that storm. And yesterday we had a very peculiar situation where we were trying to find an alternate airport. And if you try to remember our discussion about threats and error management and our in-flight decision-making model, trying to find an airport that has no threats. So we talked about this as well. Let me just see if I can find the file for this. Here I have it. So remember that we were talking about the concept about making sure that you always have a valid and a good alternate airport that you can fly to in case you can't land at your destination. And so we always talk about these weather threats. So within 1 hour of ETA, including Prop 3040, you got ceiling visibility minimums, wind, including gusts, and crosswind factors, including gusts. Also things like severe thunderstorms, snow, etc. So if anything is that, any of those are in the forecast for your destination airport, that's called a weather threat. Now, obviously, as well, for the alternates, you want to make sure you have an alternate that does not have threats. And the reason being is that if you do need to divert, then you have to realize that the fuel calculation is such that you will reach your alternate airport with only 30 minutes remaining flight time. All right, that's how the legal fuel calculation works out. And I can tell you from experience, if you ever get into a situation where you fly a heavy jet with hundreds of people on board, and you're flying towards an airport that maybe you're not so familiar with because it's an alternate airport, and you only have 30 minutes until the engine stops running, it's going to put a lot of pressure on you. So you want to make sure that, if you have threats at your destination, you increase that final reserve fuel to 45 minutes to give you a bit more buffer. But also you want to make sure that you have an alternate airport that doesn't have any of these threats, so that you can be assured that you're going to be, landing without any complications. So yesterday we had a what we call big weather area, or a big kind of bad weather area with so much wind, and it was a squall line going through as well over Central Europe, Germany especially, and we were in the afternoon, so our ETA was 13:30, I think, initially, and UTC, and we had all airports around Frankfurt, including things like Zurich, Paris, Brussels, anything in Germany. They all had, gusts more than 35 knots, really. So you could not find an airport around Frankfurt, close enough, where you could say, I have a safe alternate airport. So we actually looked at an airport which was south of the Alps, and that was Milano, Malpensa. That was the first airport that didn't have any threats. And so, we did calculate that airport in the flight plan. We did the fuel planning accordingly. But the issue was that we had an A321. It was booked out, completely booked. We had a takeoff weight of, can't remember exactly. It was really heavy, and so fuel wise, we were a bit pinned. So we couldn't take more, not much more extra fuel apart from what we had as our alternate airport, Malpensa, which is obviously about 45-minute flight time, almost 50-minute flight time. So that was a challenge, and then I'll talk about that later in flight. What happened on the flight? That was intense. Very intense indeed. Chris, hey, United for Life, nice to see you too. How are we doing? Well, Bruno, hello to you. Someone asked a question. Hang on. Hold on. Oh, there we go. So, Frederick, it's the reason why it's returning the error, Frederick, is because your name has some symbols in there which somehow the bot doesn't like. No worries, I've got your question. So so the freight flight 757, I've seen that as well. Another accident. It was apparently due to a hydraulic problem. Things like that can happen. I saw the video where the aircraft spun around. It seemed like some locked up brakes, because you could see or maybe that was because the aircraft was spinning and the tires scrubbing on the ground, and then but weird that the aircraft actually made that 180 and then veered off the runway. Maybe they had a tire burst or something. I don't know. We'll see. Yeah, Danny. Yesterday was, like I said, it was crazy yesterday. Right, let's go and do the pre-planning. So we're going from Catania to Mykonos. Flight time is projected to be around, I think it was an hour 30 or something. An hour 30. Oops. Let's see. An hour 17. It's not too bad. Locked up front wheel, was it, Danny? I don't. What is already a preliminary report out or something? Yeah, so Andrew, this is the latest VNAV, or the latest experimental version. So the reason why we're doing 2 flights today is, one, I want to just do a nice relaxed flight, do some chatting, show you guys a video from the approach into Salzburg that I made. So here's, we'll watch that video later, doing cruise flight. And then we'll do a second flight from Los Angeles to Palm Springs. And Palm Springs, the reason why I would do that is because Palm Springs has a very nice RNF approach that takes you around the airport in a kind of circular way. And so it's, hey MCK, so that's going to be a nice test for the fly-by-wire for the new VNAV. Right, let's start going here. Just going to do batteries. So just make sure all the switches are where they're supposed to be. Thrusters idle as well. The wipers are off. Nope.
Autopilot.
Hey! Thank you so much. I was just thinking, what kind of warning is that if I switch on the aircraft? Thank you. Thank you to Dinam, donating $5. That's really kind. Thank you so much for your support. Hey, Black Box, sorry for the little amount. No, it's a huge amount. Thank you for the $5. And but I would like to say just that you are one of my inspirations to be an A320 pilot. I'm turning commercial this year. Nice. Dinam, congratulations. Yeah, very happy for you. All the best. Happy landings, as I always say. Yeah, enjoy. Thank you so much for your support, and I'm happy to be an inspiration. Also, a big thank you again for all the supporters of my channel here. It means a lot to me. I just saw the resubs, so the new memberships coming in again. Thank you so much. Even though I have not been able to stream a lot lately, and that's because of a lot of work. So while I'm very happy and grateful that I'm healthy, that I have not got COVID, I'm actually one of those rare, pilots then that are actually able to work full time. And boy, we do have some issues with lots of sick people at the moment. You bought the Beluga today. Nice. Do you get discount, MCK, if you buy it now? Because there's a big discount at the moment going on Anybills Beluga. I don't know. Do you know what? I don't know. I rarely just fly one aircraft type. I actually like flying, many different aircraft types in the flight simulators. That just makes things a lot more interesting. So, even though if the PMG 737 comes out, of course there would be huge hype going on there. But after initial hype, I'm still going to be able to fly other aircraft as well. You don't know, you bought it for $9.99. Okay. Yeah, United for Life, that has been with an issue with the fly-by-wire mod for at least the last couple of updates. And so yes, what I've done is I've actually limited my FPS to 30. So I'm running actually really ultra setting, or a lot of ultra settings now, and I'm limiting to 30 FPS. So that it hopefully is a bit smoother. Because yeah, if you do it at higher FPS and you get like VSync is on and you get like 50 or 45, yeah, there is some stuttering going on. Okay, so that's actually a good idea to turn off this one, because that's not really needed, is it? If I find the button for it, there it is. Eh? What? Oh, they are linked. Okay, I was just wondering. Oh no, hang on. No, that's not the on-off button. The off button is up here. Hang on. Oh, you're right. It is linked. Yeah, but it is linked though. So you can't turn it off. Yeah. Yeah, you're right. Anyways, so let's have a look at the over panel here. So we're going to do the battery power test real quickly, or the battery charger test. That's off. Oh, and man, I had the honor of flying an aircraft on its 3rd revenue flight. It was so new. You know, like a new car smells. Yeah, that aircraft smelled like a new car. It was, you know, everything's pristine. You know, all of the button switches, all the panels, there's no scratches, nothing. It's just, it was completely, wow. Yeah, no dust mice down below here. Yeah, so everything's so, you know, squeaky clean. Outside, yeah, I posted a picture as well from the nose gear. You know, everything's really clean, and wow, it was incredible. No, no coffee stains, no orange juice stains, no. Like I said, everything's, you know, completely new. But I have to admit, it was then getting to a point where I think like, oh God, you know, don't put any scratches in it. Imagine the embarrassment if you were the first pilot to make a scratch into it. Right, so let's have a look here. I want to ask if you could dismantle the new cockpit for my nice try, Voyager. Mark your territory. No, you don't know. No, you don't want to do that. No, trust me. That is embarrassing. You do not want to do that. Absolutely not. There you go. All right, cool. Hey, Christian, nice to see you. Is it really? Lots of sales going on. Nice. Right, let's do the inner request here. Let's get this thing moving. Oh yeah, that's the thing, right? Yeah, I know. That's the thing with new cars. You have the same worry. It's somebody making a dent or a scratch in it. So Athens is the alternate. Is it, what was it called again? Alitalia? No, the air transport, isn't it? Is the call sign. Air transport. Just starting. Right, let's. Oh, have I filed the flight plan yet? No, I have not. Just file the flight plan. Itaro. Yeah, that's it. I keep forgetting. Itaro. How can I forget that? Flight level is going to be, was it 380? Eastbound. Okay, well, might be a flight. Hey, Brennell, nice to see you. Yes, Brennell. It's all announced. Brennell, looking forward to it. Yeah, I've got the sceneries installed. I've got the flight already planned. Yeah, looking forward to it, Brennell. Nice to see you later on then. So Itaro, what's the call sign? 53 Romeo. And we are connected. Let's see if anybody else is joining. Oh, let me get the jetway to the aircraft. Does that not work anymore? Oh, it does. It's moving. Disregard. It's just moving very slowly. There we go. Yoda, hey, how are you doing? Nice to see you. Yoda, I guess you're busy working as well, right? One of those people that has, you know, doesn't have COVID. Did you hear? I think Mark told me. Mark said that the manager from Manchester Airport, he actually stepped down because of the issues they had there. One day rest, 3 weeks working. Yeah, same for me. I've got minimum rest times and then back to work. Yeah. Frederick, thank you so much. Take care. Right, that's cool. That's connected. Let's call the baggage. Let's do a little bit of... nice. Right, look at that servicing going on here. Like it. I actually saw one of these liveries in Paris. So we saw it at A320 with that livery. But if I recall, guys, is it just maybe Microsoft? But I have a feeling that the blue color, yeah, this side's better, but it's darker in real life, isn't it? But yeah, I like it. I have to admit, I do like it. It's nice. Although, you know what it reminds me of, that livery? Of some football shirt. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's dark, isn't it? Yeah, yeah. It looks like a, you know, a Italian football shirt or something. Geep, you said your wife flew out of Manchester. Hey Danny, but Danny, is that really the football shirt? Okay, good guess then, I guess. Geep, so your wife flew out Manchester last weekend. I dropped her off 7 hours. Are you kidding me? And she got to the gate 90 minutes before takeoff. Wow, what? She was stuck like 5 hours, more than 5 hours in security and check-in and so on. Blimey. Yeah, Brennelt, it's in plans, but yeah, I didn't have time yesterday. It would not justify, you know, really getting the Cessna with your donation, and then you're not being able to fly it properly because I didn't have time to, you know, to check it out prior. Let's go to live weather. But I have not forgotten, Brennelt. I will fly the Cessna. Wow, 1014, beautiful weather here. Cab okay, wind easterly, 9 knots. Alright, something to remember. Hey, Jojota. Oh yeah, you know what, Jojota, I actually saw the livery, the Condor livery in Frankfurt. It was the orange one, the white-orange stripe one. Guys, I'm sorry, I know I'm a bit critical when it comes to these things with liveries, but I thought, first of all, it was an April's joke. An April's, you know, fool's joke. When I saw pictures of the liveries, I thought, yeah, nice April fool's joke. And then I saw it in real life, and I thought, ooh, sorry. You like it? I don't. I don't know. It's just something, you know. It's not streamlined. It's against the streamlining of the aircraft. Those stripes, it makes it look so weird. It really does. Danny, yes, I have payware scenery for both airports, yes. I know, right, Christian? But apparently, exactly, it's supposed to do with, you know, zebra livery or beach towel livery. It apparently has to do something with going on holidays. So I think that's the general idea behind it. It's original though. I'll give it that. It's a nice original, you know, livery. I accept that. Oh, let's do something. Let's go and put the realism. Let me put that to boarding time. Let's put it to fast, shall we? There we go. So let's go to AOC menu. Yes, of course, of course. So the marketing behind it, I do understand. People, you know, talk about it, and oh, we've got control here as well. Nice. Thank you so much. Grazie mille for the controlling. Lovely. Thank you. So we've got init data request. Let's do that. Weight and balance. Send. So we're supposed to have how much? 57.5. Well, let's start the boarding process then. Yes, Stuart. Hey, yeah. So Stuart, thank you much for the reminder. Yeah, the Beluga is on sale at the moment. Indie builds. Yeah. Boarding music? Seriously? They got boarding music now. GG. Nice and relaxing. Nice and relaxing, like it. Right. Okay. No, it's not. So I did put it to fast, but not instant anymore. So the boarding is quite fast, but at least not instant. Right, in the A page fill up. In the B page, we're expecting 57.5, although I'm not sure how that uplink is going to work. Oh, come on. Not allowed? What do you mean not allowed? Come on. I already need to enter the CG. Let's just put something in there then. Huh? Okay, that's strange. Fuel. Computer says no, exactly. But why? Let's have a look. Fuel. Fuel is supposed to be 6 tons block. So let's put this in here first of all. Fuel. Fueling. What? Man, that's quick. That is fast. Line. Can you remind me, what's the OEB for the... What do you mean, the number or the procedure? Yeah, above 35%, you're supposed to not use the speed brakes.
Ladies and gentlemen, from the flight
Or
deck,
overweight
on behalf of
landing.
myself, your captain, the first officer, and cabin crew, I'd like to take this time to welcome you aboard our flight. We're just wrapping up some paperwork.
Man, what I would
waiting
love to
final
have
numbers from the ground
here.
crew, then we'll be on our way. Flight attendants will be coming through the cabin shortly with a very important safety briefing. We do ask that you give them your full, undivided attention as they review the safety operations of this Airbus aircraft. We do appreciate your business having you aboard this flight. If there's anything we do to make your flight any more enjoyable, please don't hesitate to ask. Welcome aboard.
Nice. If that would be nice if they actually got Italian announcements. That would be cool. Center of gravity. 35% center of gravity. So if the center of gravity is beyond 35%, so more than 35%, you're not supposed to use the speed brakes, because it can cause a huge pitch-up moment when you have a go-around, for example. No, you're not supposed to use it at all. So MCK, I can get you the procedure. I'll private message you if that's all right, but I'm not going to publish it here. Right, let's do the procedure then. So we've got departure out of Catania. We're doing runway 08, easterly winds. Yeah, it is Helmer, yeah. I'm pretty sure it's him, yeah. So we're doing the PMOR departure. Do we have a PMOR departure here? Yeah, we got 5 kilo 7 alpha. Right, let's have a look. Which one we're going to choose? Flights. New flights from Salzburg. So I'm going to use that real quickly. So we've got the airport info. We are not connecting. Nice. So SID. So that will be the 5 kilo straight out. Captain's departure. I like it. Now that's the other one. That's what about this one? This will be the 7 alpha. So let's have a look at the differences. That's a normal SID 7 alpha. You can see that it requires a certain climb gradient. for ATC purposes. Not obstacle. Obviously, there's no obstacles there over water, so definitely ATC for ATC purposes. We've got the Etna right there. So the PMOR 5 kilo. That's an RNAV. Okay, that's a difference. That's an RNAV SID. The other one was conventional SID. Right, let's do the RNAV SID then. So we'll choose 5 kilo. Insert. Arrival. What was the arrival weather? So let's quickly have a look at the weather. So we've got beautiful weather here in Catania. We're seeing that. Cabo K as well in Mykonos. 20 degrees, lovely weather. Ah, nice. Nice. Now what we can do with this wind is southwesterly winds. So we can actually try that circling approach, which I'm probably going to mess up because that is quite intense. But I mean, I already showed you it. So for those that missed it, this file is available for the members on the Discord channel in the subscriber section. So we're going to do the 3-4 approach and then break off and do that circling. We'll try to program this with fix info. And then, yeah, it's you know, you've got some altitudes and some speed infos, but that's a challenge. Do the 1-6 circling, but otherwise we'd have to land with tailwind. Now I can tell you that in real life, just like in Salzburg, you know, up to 10 knots tailwind, they probably do that. But I can pretty much say that Mykonos with tailwind on 3-4 approach is a nightmare. And I'll talk about that in flight, why that is. So, but apart from that, it's nice. Cav OK, there's no threats, which is fine. Okay, never saw that before. Nice. Let's go get the SID charts from. So PMOR 5 kilo. That's the RNAV SID. Nice. I really like this this feature. Really nice. Pin that. Then taxi. We'll go. Oops. Airport pin. Ah, here it works. Look, now it's got the. Here it has the aircraft position. Yeah, we'll talk about that Yoda during the flight. Do a special briefing for it. Yeah, so taxi out will be pretty straightforward. Not much to worry about there. Cool. Nice. So for the approach, let me go and call up the charts already. So that's Mykonos ground chart. So the approach, you do not have a chart regarding the visual approach, right? This is actually something company airlines would use, and they would have a certain procedure for their pilots and publish them internally for the pilots. So that's why I've made this file for the flight simmers, just to have a some sort of guideline on how you should or how you're supposed to fly this visual approach. For the instrument approaches, so initially you would have a VOR approach, either via an arc intercept, or you would have a standard VOR approach. So the Zulu would be standard, while the Yankee would most likely be preceded by the arc here. So that's 12 DMEs here, 12 DMEs. And that should correspond, there we go. So that procedure initial approach will bring you onto that 12-mile arc. So we'll see what we'll do. Yeah, I'm just going to have that Oh, nice. Lovely. Look at that. Jeppesen actually has a familiarization info. Oh, yeah, I remember. They did do that, didn't they? For a couple of airports. Look at that. Overview. Nice. Well done. That's actually pretty cool. Some overview infos. Very nice. I like that. Good. So we've done all that. So let's go back to the first page here. Lovely. I like that. That's really cool. So what we're going to do is we're going to plan for the VUR Zulu, however, initially. The arrival takes us via the Kia and then direct. So it's going to be approached via Mykonos VUR. So it should be one of those procedures. Let's just have a look here. Let's insert that. I'm not letting implement tonight. So normally when I press the airport button, it scrolls down to the destination airport. But there we go. That's the standard procedure. And that should give us a nice descent profile as well for the top descent. Nice. Francisco, well, I'm not sure if it's for most international airports. I think it's for the special ones. I remember them publishing a list for the airports that actually have that special briefing package. So let's go and have a look at the RNF SID. So text says for the 5 kilo waypoint 500 feet then index 3.5 and above, PMOR flat level 120 and above. RNF 1 7,000 transition. Yeah, so we're gonna get the clearance in a minute. First of all, let me try to get the ATIS. So ATSU AOC menu. Weather request. Oh, hang on. Where was the ATIS? There we go. ATIS departure. Let's see if that works. Runway 08, it says transition at 80, advise contact information Bravo. Let's have a look. Receive messages. ATIS. Ah, it does work. Beautiful. Let's print it out. Here it comes. So init A page is filled out, init B page filled out. The author fuel is 1.1 for Athens. The wind, actually, the wind data, does that work now? It does, doesn't it? Let me just see. Data, wind. No, it's up this way. Wind. How can you get the wind uplink? I'm pretty sure you can. Alright guys, sorry, I'm gonna have to... Yeah, English please, or your message will be deleted, I'm afraid, sorry. So then let's just put in a average wind then. The average wind is plus 44, so it's gonna be tailwind. Oh, it doesn't have effect yet, but does this have an effect, Danny? Do you know? Let's put 45 knots tailwind in there. Yeah, it does. Okay, Sapphire, thanks. Contact us, okay. How you doing? Right, so we've got runway 08, transition level is 80040 at 9, cav okay, temperature 19, condition 1014. And now something exciting. Actually, let's see, init A, init B, flight plan page, RATNAV. RATNAV, we can simply put in the VUR, I think. if we have it. Charlie Tango Foxtrot. So Charlie Tango Foxtrot in there. So RatNav is set. Yeah, that's good. So performance, and I'm happy to say there is a performance calculator now. There is some small known issues with it, however, so I've been gifted this one by the developer. Thank you very much for that. There are some known bugs. Let me just call up the known bugs. Make sure that I don't miss anything. So SimSmart will not update. Bug and error occurs when registering your software. No, in-use bug. So SimSmart reports an error, conversion from a string. Workaround, and then there's something regarding non-QWERTY. Okay, so non-QWERTY keyboards. All right. Well, we just use the mouse then. Yeah, we'll see. So let's go. Lima, India, Charlie, Charlie. Okay. Airport 8. Yeah, so that's the wind data, QNH, etc. So you can't change that apparently. Dry, anti-ice off, obviously. Takeoff weight. So what's our takeoff weight? It's going to be about 63.5. So let me put 63.5. CG. Now CG is going to be above 27%. We'll do flex. Climb, thrust, climb. That's fine. Air conditioning on. Let's calculate. Oh, really? Options. The application currently uses full runway. Okay, so you can enter manual, enter the runway length. If you have a intersection takeoff, you can actually use that then to insert. That's cool. The connection automatically when you want options. Yes. Always end. Okay, so there we go. So you can always enter it manually. Okay. Let's try that then. Yeah, because obviously this is Microsoft. What do you mean? Hey, Aerofly, how you doing? So let's try it again. 8. So enter the data manually. So I'm going to do nothing there with the wind. So they have that as a little buffer. Then we're going to put 19 degrees in here, QNH. So 1014 it is. We're going to put in 1013 just in case it changes. As always, dry runway, anti-ice off, and that was 63.5. And we've got ACG above 27, flex, air conditioning on, calculate. Hey King Creed, how you doing? Yes, I'm using all kinds of sims, yeah. I don't have a absolute favorite one. I enjoy flying many different flight sims, many different aircraft types. Right. So there we go. It's going to give us a config 1 plus F, flex 64, speed 33, 33, 36, takeoff weight limitation. So that's structural, it seems. Thrust reduction acceleration is that. Green dot is 215. So that's the max takeoff weight. Let me have a look at the performance page here. So 1 plus F.
Catania traffic,
hey,
869 lining up departing runway 08.
MAN, you're too quick. It doesn't wait for me. Let's get my infos here. Black box. Let's have a look. Yeah, so I have the same. I have acceleration 1040 and thrust reduction 1040. NADP2 it is. And engine out is just going to be 08 to 225 miles to hold. Hold on, MAN. I'm going to get your takeoff. Hold on. Let's see, where is he? I'm sure he's taking off 08 as well. There he is. Let's watch this departure. Our lords, hola. ¿Cómo estás? Beautiful day today. Nice and smooth. Look at that. That was the best takeoff I've ever seen on VATSIM. Well done, MAN. Well done. Excellent. Engine acceleration is actually 1600 on this side, so 1600 engine acceleration. Oh, wrong field. There we go. And the flex temperature was 64. Yeah, well-deserved takeoff applause there. The trim now. Let me just have a look at the ATSU again. So it put the trim at... Well, that's weird. Look, here it says 24.4. So let's say it's 25 for takeoff. Oh, hang on. Somebody told me last time. Can you get the CG in here? May need to do a cool down. Hey Paul, how you doing? Right, 25 on the trim scale would be around up 0.2. So let's do that, up 0.2 for the trim. Right, that's then secondary doesn't work yet. So fix info. That's the last thing we can do here. Is just put an engine out procedure in here. 08. So that's going to be 082 25 miles. Nice. Okay, cool. All right, let's get the clearance from our good friend here. 29.725. I need a piece of paper as well. Yeah, but then I have to redo my calculations because that's wrong then. That will be less than 27%. Guys, remind me that that we may need to, although it doesn't really change anything. It didn't change anything at all. All right. Paper. Hold on. Paper I've got. Pen. Next problem. Where's my pen? No one leaves the room. Where's my pen? Oh, this one. So we are called what? ITA Air. No, ITA Row. ITA Row. It's a difficult job. It really is. Info Charlie. ITA Row. Speedbird. Catania ground, a very good evening to you. Itaro 53 Romeo, there we go. Requesting clearance please with information Charlie and with A320 Neo.
Itaro 53 Romeo, Catania ground, I don't have a flight plan.
Okay, I will try again. I did file it, I swear to God, I did file it. Isn't that, hang on, is Is that Alpha Tango November or Alpha Tango India? Yeah, right. Oh, that's why. I put in Alpha Tango India as a call sign. ICAO, so there's that no Itaro. Is it Alpha Tango November, the ICAO, or is it Alpha Tango India? It should be Alpha Tango November, right? Itaro 53 Bravo. Can you check again? Maybe I just logged in with the... Oh, is it India Tango Yankee? Okay, I've got the wrong ICAO identifier. Stand by. Is it really? India Tango India. What did I find out? I googled this afternoon. Happens to the best. It's not my airline. That's why I don't know. India Tango Yankee. Yeah, India Tango Yankee. Yeah, I got it now.
Following for Mike Victor, taxi holding point Alpha runway 08 via Alpha.
Alpha holding point 08 Alpha.
Thank you, MCK. Thank you, Felipe. Yeah, thanks. Okay, Itaro 53 Romeo flight plan should be filed correctly now. Can you check, please?
Yes, sir. Ready to copy?
Itaro 53 Bravo Romeo is ready to copy.
Itaro 53 Romeo, information Charlie clear to Mykonos via the P-more 5 kilo departure, runway 08, initial climb 6,000 feet, squawk 5506.
Itaro 53 Romeo is cleared to Mykonos via the P-more 5 kilo, runway 08, initial climb 6,000 and the squawk 5506.
Itaro 53 Romeo, Riva correct.
Grazie. Yeah, I will do that. Hang on, give me a second. Let me just restart Sim Toolkit Pro. And let me also do the briefing again. Edit. Hold on, sorry. Right, so that should now be correct. Hold on. There we go. Thank you. Cool, so we've got the P-more 5 kilo departure, climb 6,000 initially is set, and the squawk 5506 is on. So A320neo, no technical issues. We have a clean technical logbook. Fuel 6.1 in the readout. We ordered 6 tons, good distribution. Gives us a bit of extra fuel of around about 800 kilograms. I worked out on the flight plan here. It says a ton, so that's good for one go around. Hey Oliver, so definitely good to have that fuel. So for a second approach before we need to divert. Takeoff weight 63.3. We've done the calculations with that new app here, the performance calculator. And so we are checking full length runway 08, flaps 1, flex 64, and the speeds 133, 133, 136. Transition is in 7,000, NLDP 2, engine acceleration 1600. The P-more 5 kilo is an hour of departure with the waypoints 500 feet, then index P-more, and we have the restrictions on the chart here. So we've got to be index max 240 knots, 3,500 or above. and P more 120 above. So initial climb is 6,000. In case of engine failure after V1, we continue straight out runway track, acceleration 1600, clean up. Then we're going to climb to 4,000, and the wind is such that we're going to have to. Well, we could calculate a landing distance performance and do a landing on runway 26 if needed. Otherwise, we'll get radar vectors for an approach for runway 08, and that would be a ILS Zulu. And the initial altitude there is, well, 3,000. If we have radar vectors that's short enough so that we don't get into conflict with the terrain there, then 3,000 would be good enough. So after cleanup, engine secured, we'll climb 3,000 feet radar vectors. Oh, Oliver, thanks. Yeah, but yeah, I do that for a living, so... But I have to admit, you know what? The weird thing is, in real life, I don't know, it feels a lot more natural in real life than actually, yeah, doing it in a flight sim. Weirdly enough. I know it sounds weird, but that's just the way it is. Good. RTO is not critical. We've got enough stop margin, so until V1 will abort for thrust loss, aircraft not controllable, ATC call, all the cautions warnings coming through the inhibition phase. Good. Let's do the items here. Oh, we can pre-plan the pushback. Nice. Yeah, that's cool. Love it. Start the APU. Right, so let's do that. That is.
Flight attendants, armed doors, and cross-check.
Jesus Christ, that scared me. MCK. Taxi. Nice. Cool.
Once again, we'd like to welcome you on board. Your safety is our top priority, so we appreciate a few minutes of your attention while we demonstrate the safety features of this aircraft. You can follow along with the safety information card in your seatbelt pocket.
Oh, that's cool. Actually, hear the muffled voice now. Can you hear that? Oh, that's really cool. I like it. GG's.
The seatbelt sign is off and have it visible to the crew at all times.
Well, yeah, we can do that maybe. That's actually a good idea. Yeah, in real life, I think you could ask for it as well. If there's no ash, of course, volcanic ash. Danny, didn't you know that? Okay. It has good sounds, absolutely. Yeah. So come on, what's taking the baggage handler? Oh, there we go. It's just me being a bit impatient again. Cool. Nice. Catania ground at Itaro 53 Romeo requesting push and start, please.
Itaro 53 Romeo, push and start approved, facing west, QNH 101.
QNH 1014, cleared start and push, facing west, Itaro 53 Bravo. Nice, let's try this now. So, push back, pre-plan, loading.
cockpit to ground.
This is ground. Stand by.
You can zoom in and out with control. Yeah, thanks. Yeah, I have not really read through the manual. Sorry to say. I should have, but I've not. You know, I don't know. You know, it's the first time I'm using it actually, regarding the pre-plan.
Okay, sir. The bypass pin is installed. All doors and hatches closed, and all ground equipment is removed.
The parking brakes are set. You may lift.
Parking brake set. Lifting the aircraft.
So before start checklist, cock prep completed. Signs are on and is it auto? Yeah.
You're cleared for start and push.
Okay.
Fuel quantity is 6,100 kilograms. Altimeters 1014, 60 feet checked. Down the line, below the line, windows, doors closed. Closed.
Parking brake.
Beacon is on. Thrust levers idle and parking brake now off.
Parking brakes are released.
Commencing pushback. You can start the engines in sequence.
It will start in the sequence.
So engine start. We've got the APU, but fuel pumps need to go on. Right, fuel pumps on. Good pressure to start. Oh. That was my silly planning, guys. That's not the fault from the pushback app. No, no, Oliver. We don't disconnect the anti-skid ever. Neither in 319, 320, 321. Oh yeah. Ooh. Nice. Right, start while closed. Engine 1 starts. Oh, it's doing that nicely. If it's a sharp turn at the end.
Okay, pushback completed. Please set your parking brake.
Not bad. I thought it was going to give me around the corner a bit more, but hey, we'll take it.
Parking brake set.
At least you don't have to steer
Parking
yourself.
brake set. Lowering aircraft.
Tis.
Ground. Startup is complete. You may disconnect.
Roger. Good engine start. Clear to disconnect.
Yep.
See you at the side. Have a good flight.
See you. Thank you
Holding
much.
position waiting
After
for the
start
visual.
flow.
Thank you and goodbye.
Right, let's have a look at the trim setting then. So fuel prediction page, 24.9, so 25 it is. So that should be pretty much there. And the flight control check. Full up, full down, neutral, full left, full right, neutral, rudder, full left, full right, neutral. After start checklist. Oh he's actually gone. Nice. Anti-ice is off. Ecamp status checked. Trim 25% set 0 after sub check was completed. Itaro 53 Romeo request taxi.
Itaro 53 Romeo taxi heading point Alpha runway 08 via Alpha.
Alpha holding point runway 08 via Alpha. Itaro 53 Romeo. That should be simple enough to find. However, let me still get the chart up. Yeah, pretty much on the apron there, Alpha holding point. Easy. Right side clear, left side clear. Parking brake off, and off we go. Taxi light on. It could be, I don't know, A340 brake check. Brakes are working. I don't know. Maybe it is. B4 takeoff checklist. Flag controls checked. Flaps 1 plus F. Takeoff speed flex 133, 133, 136, and flex is 64. Eco memo takeoff no blue down to the line. Oh, we got tower as well. How cool is that? Shall we ask the tower then for a flight around the Etna? Mario, everyone's well. Normally, you start out as a second officer, and then after your training, you become a first officer. Oh, is it uphill here?
53 Romeo, contact Catania Tower, Momoni 7. Ciao, grazie per aver volato.
Itaro 53 Romeo with contact tower 18.7. Thank you so much for the service. Have a great evening. Ciao. So there's Bravo, and we're supposed to go to Alpha. VIP service. I'm enjoying it. Right, tower, set active. Catania Tower, buonasera. Itaro 53 Romeo approaching Alpha holding point, and we're ready for departure, and we have a special request.
53 Romeo, Catania Tower, buonasera. Pass your message.
Itaro 53 Romeo for passenger enjoyment and sightseeing. We request a left-hand circle around the Etna, if that's possible.
Itaro 53 Romeo, I don't think it can be a problem because there is no radar. That will be Unicom. Just write in the Unicom that you will do, and it can be okay, I think. Okay,
perfect. Thank you.
And Itaro 53 Romeo, anyway, via Alpha runway 08, turn up and clear for takeoff, wind 060 degrees, 7 knots.
Via Alpha, line up runway 08, clear for takeoff 08, Itaro 53 Romeo. Beautiful.
Please prepare for takeoff.
Below the line, takeoff runway is 08. Oh, it says Bravo there. That's wrong, isn't it? It should be Alpha. It's full length. And the packs are on engines. B4 take checklist completed. Right. Come on. You can do this. There we go. Approach sector is clear. Cleared for takeoff. Let's go. Oh. There you go. 50%, good engines, takeoff. We have Manflex 64 SAS runway auto thrust is blue. Thrust set 100 knots. E1 rotate. Positive right. Enough. There we go, look at that. Oh, gorgeous.
Zero 53 Romeo, correction, 53 Romeo, you are identified, now Father TC, monitor Unicom 128. Thank you very much for coming, Italy Blackfoot. Have a nice evening, ciao.
Itaro 53 Romeo over to Unicom. Thank you so much, guys, for the service. Absolutely appreciate it. Have a great evening. Grazie mille. Ciao.
Grazie, ciao.
That's really, really cool, guys. Thank you so much for doing this. Goosebumps. Thank you. So we got thrust climb, climb out blue, auto thrust, flap 0, speed is checked, flap 0. And Unicom, off we go. Set active. Catania traffic from Itaro 53 Romeo. We are going to be doing a left-hand circle around the Etna in the climb out at Catania. So flight directors off. Bird on. And auto thrust off. Oh, careful the bank. Passengers are like, what? I only can see water. What's happening? Right, there you go. Stabilizer motion. So let's see if we get less stutters. We filed, I think, 380, so let's go 380. TCAS is on. Standard is set. Wow, this thing is fast. It's a shame, I've not been here to Catania in real life for ages. But on the 737, a long time ago, we flew here quite regularly. Always really impressive. Thanks to the call out, yeah, I know. I'm not looking at the instruments. Wow. That's loud. Can you adjust this? Can you adjust the noise level here through the EFB? Oh really, JSnap? No, seriously. It was the start of your honeymoon. Nice. What a view. Danny, I don't know exactly. I think it's 100, yeah. You can, okay. Wow, look at that. Wow, 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 wow. Audio. But I have already dialed that down. How weird is that? This doesn't work, does it? Right, I've got to watch the speed, man. It's powerful, but it's not a fighter jet, so let's put the nose down a bit. There we go. Oh, that's really impressive. Lewis, thank you. Thanks so much, Lewis. Hope you're doing good. Does anyone know this side? Looks like this side has broken off at some point. Like it could have been a really huge landslide. Always, I find it so fascinating that people actually live so close to a volcano. I'm aware of the fact that the Earth is very, very rich, you know, of nutrients and so on. It's really good for. Yeah, really good for you know, for agriculture, but the danger of having a you know, eruption at some point. So let's see now. We've got thrust climb, open climb, out blue, nav, inbound to inmax or index. And level 380. Oh yeah, the passengers would love it. They would really love that. Really? Mika, thanks for the infos. So it actually collapsed, what, 6,000 BC? That's a long time. Blimey. That is a very long time. Taormina. What? Just a small part here? Or, oh, look at that. Smaller volcanoes. Side volcanoes there. Look at that. Wow, that is pretty. Or is it this one here? On the coastline, here. Wow. Emir, I'm sorry. But that's just the way it is sometimes, Emil. Bad luck. Yeah, this is the fly-by-wire mod, yeah, exactly. Right, let's put the flight directors back on again. There we go. Nice. Good, seatbelts. Let's do the rest of the items here before I get to the questions. So, RatNav, clear. Secondary, don't have. Fix info. Clear. And that's it. Cool. That's clean. Tsunami. Wow, okay. Well, that's incredible, Mika. Thanks for the infos. Hey, TV Revenger, how you doing? So the questions. The questions are as follows. We have, Danny, notice that when I'm about to taxi, engine's at idle and parking brake still on. When I lift the parking brake, it's rolling ever so slightly forward. No. It doesn't happen in real life like that, no. I mean, the aircraft may start, you know, to move on its own power, idle power, but normally, you know, you don't have, you know, a jump or something, no. No, I don't have any hardware regarding the tiller, etc. Here in the fly-by-wire. I do have some hardware, but that only works at the moment for FS Labs. I mean, it would work for the TOLUS if I set it up. But no, here for the fly-by-wire mod, I don't know. Super Grumpy, hey, how you doing? Do you ever have, in real life, answered agency, thanks for your service? Yeah. No, no, I've not. No, I've not, Super Grumpy, no. But what I would do is Super Grumpy, so sometimes what I would do is, for example, if, well, actually, you know, yesterday I actually said thank you to a controller for the service. I did actually, but not for the service in regard to, you know, coming online. I mean, they get paid for it, so actually for doing a really good job on keeping us updated regarding our sequencing and the expected approach time. We'll talk about that yesterday, a little bit of detail during the flight. We have a bit of time in cruise level. And for that, let me just dial down the sim sound just a notch more. There we go. So it's just a little bit quieter. Don't have to shout so much. Yeah, so yesterday I did say thank you for the service, but again, service because of the fact that they, you know, did such a good job. A T7 driver, so 777 driver. What should have be done if we lose sight of the runway during the base leg of a circling approach? Right. So, if you are doing a strictly circling approach, so you're not doing a company overlay procedure or anything like that, so you're not following any programmed tracks in nav mode, if you lose sight of the runway, you have to go around. At least at our company, we have to go around if you lose sight of the runway. If you are actually using a overlay procedure that the company has programmed and authorized for you to use in nav mode, then you can actually continue. But latest base, of course, you would have to be able to see the runway. So latest will be before the final descent. You would have to be, you know, it's necessary to see the runway, and that can visually determine your path to the runway. That's really important. You tried a A320 full motion flight sim? Yeah, it is dampened. So the real A320 stick is dampened, and people probably, well, let's put it this way: people are saying to me sometimes that they feel the Warthog Thrustmaster joystick is too stiff. Right, so they think that in real life the real A320 Airbus stick is actually easier to move, which is not the case. it actually does take, you know, some force to get the stick to the full deflections. Yeah, that's exactly the answer or the comment I get when people actually try a full motion simulator. Yeah, that the side stick is actually feeling, you know, stiffer than they thought it would. Yeah. So. Thanks for answering. What's the lateral and vertical navigation strategy to follow in case of doing a go-around after breaking off to down? Okay, so think of it this way. You should always turn towards the runway, right? So let's see if I can find an airport with a nice circling. So let's go and have a look here at Catania, for example. I'm pretty sure you would have a circling runway 26. Right, so you are in a, let's say you're in a circling. You came here for the approach, you're doing the circling south field. Yeah, it's not authorized north, so you have to do circling south. So at any point you would have to turn towards the runway. You have to stay in that safe sector, right? So if you are on the early downwind, let's say, you could join the original missed approach. If you're already on base, well, maybe base you can still join the normal missed approach procedure, but normally you would turn towards the runway. So let's say you're on the final and you messed up the final approach in the circling, you would then turn within that sector here and then rejoin the original missed approach procedure. But it's always important that you do those turns, those maneuvering turns in the maneuvering area, because that's the only area that will guarantee you the obstacle clearance. Yeah, Mickey, we have the same, well, we have a real cockpit as well here at the Bremen airport. So it's a flight sim, and they have an Air France A319 original cockpit for that. The only thing that's not so nice here in the it's not full motion though, it's a sim which doesn't have motion, but the only thing I didn't like really was the visuals. It just seems to be offset a bit from the normal picture. Yeah, so 777 driver, let me find, I'm sure I can give you a nice link somewhere where it explains it. I'll cruise. Nice.
Well, ladies and gentlemen, once again from the flight deck, your captain speaking. We've just reached our cruising altitude for the flight. As it begins to settle in, I do want to remind you to please keep your feet and elbows clear from the aisle as the flight attendants will be coming through the cabin.
So here's a good link from Airbus actually.
One more reminder to please refrain from congregating near the front of the aisle where
So
the door is located.
on page number 2, it says, what about the missed approach? And that's a really good document regarding the circling approaches and so on. And the protective areas, you know, how that's determined, etc., etc. How you would use that, which modes you would use in the A320. Yeah, so that's a really nice document. And it says there as well, for what about the missed approach? JER ops definitions, if visual reference is lost while circling to land from an instrument approach, the missed approach specified for the particular instrument approach must be followed. So the approach that you had previously flown before the circling, that's the missed approach you will have to follow. It is expected that the pilot will make initial climbing turn towards the landing runway and overhead the aerodrome, where he will establish the aeroplane in the climb on the missed approach track. Yeah, 1 hour exactly, Aerofly, yeah, it is. Nice. Good. So, coming back to yesterday's real-world flying. So yesterday we had a massive storm over Europe, another one, with very high wind speeds. And the highest wind speed that was recorded at Frankfurt was gust 46 or something. And the mean thing was, it was out of the southwest, so 220 degrees. Yeah, there was like a squall line going through, including some thunderstorms, and so we had the issue first of all in planning our flight, finding a valid alternate airport, and we talked about it again regarding the options that you have. So what you want to do is find an airport that has no threats, and the problem is, whenever you have wind, including gusts greater than 30 knots, that's considered a threat, and so that makes the airport not a valid plan B. So yeah, we had actually the real airport, the first airport that was valid for us was Malpensa, Milano Malpensa, and so that's why we had that on our flight plan. So we actually fueled the aircraft for that. The problem is that we're flying an A321 and at very high weights, and so that was one issue. The other issue was that actually the final weight that came in was a lot heavier than, well, I mean, a lot is about almost 2 tons heavier than what we had on our flight plan, which caused then a higher fuel burn as well. And so we only had, so on top of our alternate fuel, we only had the 45 final reserve at Milano, plus about 10 minutes holding fuel. So we knew that there was going to be a front coming in, so that squall line moving in, and while on the ground at our departure airport, flight time was about 2 hours 15 minutes. I talked to my first officer and said, well, my hope is that by the time we reach Frankfurt, that front will have passed through, and we will have then the backside weather, meaning it will still be windy, but not quite as windy, and the air will be a lot clearer. Maybe some partial, towering cumulus, maybe, or some rain showers, but nothing major, like in that front. And so we departed. We had a slot time. We departed about 45 minutes late, and so we flew. And the weird thing is, so this is actually called in-flight decision making, right? So this actually does not apply for pre-planning, right? So you would not have to do this for pre-planning. All you would need to do for your planning is actually find an alternate airport that has weather above landing minimums, plus some additions because you're doing alternate planning. But literally, you don't have to look at these things like wind gusts greater 30 knots. You would just take your normal wind limits, i.e. 35 knot crosswind, for example. So the normal alternate planning with the flight planning, that is different to what we have here in flight. However, it's stupid to go airborne simply having done your normal alternate planning and then go airborne and start doing your in-flight decision making and saying, oh, you know what, we have threats at our destination airport, so let's then use 45 minutes for a valid plan B airport, right? So that's always 15 minutes more now than previously having as final reserve fuel. And then start looking at your airports around your destination, and then realizing that all of your airports around, you know, the normal range are having threats. And that's actually what happened yesterday. So all the airports within a circle of, let's say, about 300 miles, they all had these wind gusts up to 40 knots. And so the first valid airport, and it remained that way pretty much until we were approaching Frankfurt and we were told to enter the holding. That's when we checked for the 5th time. We checked all the METAR reports for airports around Frankfurt, and we actually found that for 3 reports in succession, Hanover was actually having less than 30 knots winds. So we could actually change our alternate from Malpensa to Hanover, which then gave us a bit more holding fuel, which was actually required because we initially were told enter holding, there's no ETA at the moment. So that always puts you in a bit of a bad spot, because usually ATC will tell you when you fly holding, you know, your expected approach time is such and such, and that way you could do a proper planning, proper fuel planning, to determine how much fuel you have just for holding. Remember that we do our calculations. Let me just show you the Frankfurt chart. So let's have a look here. There we go. So that's the right transition. So we were flying holding here, and we entered at level 200, which is very high. That means a lot of aircraft are below you flying holding patterns, waiting for their sequencing into Frankfurt. Now you can see from the position of the holding, the airport, and the approach track, the arrival track, you have a lot of track miles. So we determined we have about 75 track miles from Unoku until we reach the runway. And we knew that if we had to go to Malpensa, I think the minimum diversion fuel at the missed approach point would have been something like 4.8 tons or something like that, if I remember correctly. And so if we had not found Hanover to be then a valid plan B, we would have had like 10 minutes holding fuel, and that's all. Yeah, so Danny, a dispatch actually asked my dispatcher, saying, hey, how many people are actually filing Malpensa as their alternate airport? And he said, well, there's 3 or 4 of you guys now, because they're all doing these plannings, you know, and saying, hey, you know, there's no good alternate airport within reach, you know, next to Frankfurt, so you have to have an alternate airport which is further away. And so you already take that extra fuel to cover that fuel to fly to the alternate. So yeah, 75, and we had an A321. Remember how much fuel you require per minute, and the A321. Silence. Nobody remembers. Oh, nice. Next up is Italy and Malta. Lovely. Right, 50 kilograms per minute is the extra fuel flow value for the A321. So 50 kilograms per minute. And so for the 75 miles, you could kind of, you know, rule of thumb say you need about how many minutes did we say? So we're doing about 4 miles a minute. So that's about 20 minutes for the arrival. So 20 times 50, 1 ton. So you need about 1 ton of fuel in A321 to get from Onoku on a standard arrival into Frankfurt, assuming it's like 75 miles. So with Hanover now being our alternate airport, we had about 25 to 30 minute holding fuel, and that really saved our butt because otherwise we would have diverted to Malpensa. Yeah, so we managed to do the holding, and we flew about 20 minutes holding and then started the approach. And the approach itself was still challenging. We still had winds gusting up to 29 knots coming from the northwest at the point. And we actually had some pretty hefty turbulence because we had to... Oh yeah, so at about 6,000 feet we had 80 knots of wind from the west. It was crazy. We're doing like, you know, 220 indicated, but ground speed was 350 plus because of that 80 knot tailwind pushing us eastbound. And so in that transition layer coming down on the ILS, there was some really hefty turbulence. And then the landing itself was all right. I mean, the first officer allowed the first officer to land the aircraft. And so that was he did really well, and that wasn't really that bad. But prior, so in the descent itself, wow, that was pretty impressive. Oh, what's that? Let's leave that for sure. Right, so yeah, and then so we landed about an hour late, but still, yeah, we made it. But that was literally hanging on a thread. So you know, if we had diverted to Milano, that would have been it. We would have reached our max duty time because we got up really early. And our first flight from Salzburg to Frankfurt with the Neo actually was that was so tough to land because the wind was not only changing in magnitude but also in direction really fast. And I remember that about 50 feet I got a wind shift to the left, which pushed the nose to the left as well, and yeah, the speed just dropped you know, really quickly, and I was quick enough to react and get the engines revving up to about, I don't know, 70%, which helped to stabilize the aircraft. But that was close to go around. I was literally just for a split second just trying to see if the aircraft actually, you know, gets to push forward and the thrust is actually working to the extent that I can stabilize the aircraft. Otherwise it would have just been go around. Did you talk to passengers? Yeah, we did. So I did. I mean, you know, I explained to them anyways while we were delayed, and I did explain to them, yeah, that the approach will be bumpy. You know, that we're going to stop the service earlier, that we have the seatbelt signs going on earlier, just to make sure that everyone, you know, is aware of that, and nobody starts walking around the cabin trying to get to the toilet while we're in the descent. Hey Alexis, you currently practice for the MPL selection of the airline. Do you have any tips, tricks, the moving dots monitoring test? Well, Alexis, the thing is this. I know that people are always anxious, and I was anxious back then when I did my preparations as well, you know, to see if there's anything that you can do to practice. I don't have any access to any, you know, data or, you know, any files where you can practice that. See it more from the point of view that these tests are there to check to see if actually you have the right stuff to become an airline pilot. It doesn't make you a superhuman by any means, right? So, but it just makes sure that you have the abilities to successfully become an airline pilot. And so preparing is one thing, but there is no real need to do so, right? So if you have the right stuff, you will be able to master these tests. Simple as that. If there are any deficiencies in any areas and you get told, hey, you know, once you are able to do the retest at some point in the future, you can maybe then focus on these. But initially on your first test, I would say go in, you know, in a positive mindset, meaning you're going to do your best, but try to stay as relaxed as possible, try to be yourself and see how that works out. I know it's a bit unsatisfactory, that kind of message, but again, you know, it's something that is important. These tests are there to make sure that, you know, you are selected under the right conditions, and you know, you bring along, you know, certain aspects that enable you to become an airline pilot. Yeah, you see, yeah, Alexis, don't think of it this way. Don't think of it this way. Don't think of it as, you know, as having a 1.2% chance or whatever. Think of it this way. You're going to do your best, right? You want to become a pilot. You're going to do your best. And yeah, just try to be relaxed so that you can do your best in these tests. Because if you're nervous, obviously that does affect your ability to stay focused in sometimes. Yeah, but the more relaxed you are, you know, I think the better you'll be able to perform. One thing in Germany, at least, Alexa, so when I get asked here in Germany how they can prepare, what I tell them normally is, if you have the chance, go and apply just after school. Go and apply to the German Air Force to become a pilot there. They will then invite you to 2 tests. One of them is the officer's test. That's, I think, about 3 days in Cologne, what used to be back in my days, where they will check your general knowledge, they will check your mindset, you know, your ability to, you know, become an officer. Ja, klar kann ich Deutsch, ja. Ich wohne in Deutschland. Hey, Motosuva, nice to see you. I hope you're doing well. Yeah, so, and then you have the practical tests, including a medical to become an Air Force pilot. And those practical tests are pretty much the same as you have when you become an airline pilot, because the tests are then being done by the German aeronautical authorities. So they have a strict guideline on what to test. And so these tests to become an Air Force pilot are very common to the normal tests when becoming an airline pilot. So that's what I would you know, say, hey, you know, that's one way of having a good preparation for your airline tests. Yeah, but I wish you all the best. So Alexis, all the best. And again, you know, I went into my tests back then with a good feeling, because I already had been told that I have the stuff to become an Air Force pilot. So I was actually, you know, pretty confident, and I also was able to say, you know what, if I fail the airline tests, well, I've got a plan B. I can still become an Air Force pilot. But if it's, you know, if it's not meant to be, then it's not meant to be. Right, good. What else? Salzburg, yeah, Salzburg. So Salzburg Airport, beautiful. And we had a beautiful weather situation. And I've got a video on the approach. So unfortunately, even though the wind was like 6-7 knots tailwind on the runway, we were not allowed to do the circling 3-3. So I'm still hoping to get that at some point. But it was only straight in 1-5 approach, but still beautiful. I'll show you the video now, and I can have my salad.
also blue look blue, but one of them. Ja, richtig light, dann genau 6000 ist approach, set lunch. Ja, dann. Gear down.
1000.
Jets.
Hundred above, 300. Minimum. $100. 50, 40, 30, 20. Retard, retard, retard. 5.
There you go. Yeah, I was a bit bummed with regard to the landing. I'd really tried to grease that, and I was just hovering. It was one of those typical situations where the aircraft is just hovering like, 2 feet above the ground, and not settling down, and it's just you just lose the speed, and it just drops to the runway, and it doesn't give a nice grease. It gives like a like, you know, thud, and that's really annoying. No dancing, no. Yeah, so it depends on the aircraft programming, so the pin programming regarding the callouts. Yeah, so we don't have 500-foot callouts, no. Yeah, so yeah, you're right, Yoda. I need to record Amsterdam at some point. Good. We actually got the top descent coming in, top drop. Look at that. And so 160 miles to go. Someone asked what was the MSA in Salzburg. So you can see that Salzburg has a approach which is pretty fine. There's not many obstacles initially, but as you get closer into that valley, you have very high terrain, south, west, east, so you have to really be aware of that. And there's a special go-around procedure, so your minimums are determined by your possible climb rates you can do in case of engine out, and then you have to do that turn with maximum 165 knots. That is really important. If you fly faster, you risk into bumping into these obstacles on either side. So yeah, it does have quite a lengthy description regarding the approach, and I was actually going to show you in you know, nice and easy fashion regarding the airport briefing for Mykonos. We have the same for Salzburg, so there's, you know, a couple of pages. So for Mykonos now arrival, we have a short and narrow runway, so it's a non-standard 1900 times 30 meters. Backtrack is always required, and there's high terrain north and east of the airport, which we'll have a look at in a minute. Gusty winds and turbulence, especially with winds from the north-northeast. Expect negative wind shears. Always expect turbulence. Emil asked the real A320, can you check? No, well, there is a prompt regarding G-load. You can access that, but we read, well, actually, I never do that. But not feet per minute, it's just a G rating for touchdown. The reason why that is recorded is because for maintenance reasons. So if you you know, slam into the runway and you exceed a certain G limit, then they're going to do a check, and the maintenance actually gets an automatic report. All you get is a printout for yourself from the printer, and then you know that you've exceeded a limitation on landing, and then maintenance has to come and check. So always expect turbulence, even with wind speeds below 10 knots. There's no radar service. Instrument approaches are only available for runway 34, so VOR, NDB, or RNAV, and the circling approaches are available for runway 16. Normally, if there's a lot of traffic, expect some holding overhead Mykonos VOR. Most used approach obviously is runway 34. You may expect shortcuts sometimes to certain fixes for the arrival and the descent to 7,000 feet. Varix is preferred normally. It's a waypoint that is a little bit more southerly, or south of the island. I'll show you that in a minute. Approach start. It doesn't. Oh, it does have. Look at that. So, there we go. So that's Bismo, and there's an island there. So from north, well, let's say northerly winds, you get turbulence here below level 140. So we'll normally clear you to a fix further south, which has less turbulence. That's how critical this is. Yeah, we got to descend now, I think. Yeah, we're just about to reach the top descent here. So there we go. Approaches runway 34. Night operation approach is only allowed if you have the PAPI operative. There's hills to the right of the final, and the VOR approach has a 3-degree offset from the runway track. Landing itself is a short and narrow runway in combination with steeply rising terrain prior to the threshold which gives the optic illusion of being too high, and that can then cause hard landings. I expect wind shears on final and perform landing calculations preferably with some anticipated tailwind component and upslope on both touchdown zones. So regarding the weather, let's see if we can actually do a circling here. I'm going to start our descent as well. Let's just do the normal VNAV descent. Let's see how it manages that. And we'll descend ourselves 7,000 feet. So we got Mach descend out blue 70. Let's have a look at the weather. 1.7 G, that's a lot, Danny. Yeah, that is actually quite hard, yeah. So we've got Mykonos, variable 3 knots, so that's perfect for the circling. We'll do that. Normally you wouldn't, but we'll fly that visual circling, because I'm pretty sure I'm going to mess it up.
Deck, ladies and gentlemen. As you may have noticed, we have begun our initial descent down to our destination. Now
we'll see. 1012.
If you are up, once you return to your seat, we ask that you remain seated.
And the wind, that's just put to variable, so 00 at 3 in there. The visual circling is flown 2,000 feet. We'll start the break off, so I'm going to put 2,000 as our minimum. Ratnaf, we're going to put Mykonos Mike Kilo Member in here. That's 110.0, and that's about it, I think. Right. So we'll do the standard VOR approach initially, but that's not it, is it? Hang on. There we go. That's the Zulu approach we're going to do. Get rid of that. So that's the approach we're going to do. So we're going to overfly the VOR. Outbound 6 miles, 129 degrees. And then we'll do the inbound turn, intercept the final track. 333. Descend down from 6 miles to 2,000 feet for the circling. Although it's telling us 1,600, interestingly enough. But we'll see. Oh, that's Athens airport, isn't it? Yeah, it is. That's Athens. I'm right overhead Athena. Let's have a look. Athena. So the city of Athens is really, really, really impressive. So it's really kind of whitish in color. Lots of buildings, and of course white, really dominating the colors. Gorgeous. That's really cool. Yes, we are, Mickey. Yeah. So we are using the VNAV function. Now I'm gonna have to check. So 333, inbound course. Yeah, 333 degrees. I'm gonna put the inbound course in here. Not allowed. What do you mean? Oh, front. F333. Is that right? F333. Not allowed. Are you kidding me? Oh, disregard. The reason I put that in here is because these are amber boxed. No, but you put that in there. Right, there we go. That's for the ILS. Disregard. Yeah, I just thought the amber boxes. That's for some reason that in my mind that just goes click, and I say that has to be filled out. So that's what you would not see in the real aircraft. That's not how it's displayed. There we go. Right, so we're reaching the lower band of the... So now it's going to increase thrust. And normally we'll go back to the econ speed and then go back to idle. And have a look. Alright, so done that. Ratnav. Auto brakes, obviously medium. before landing. And we do have a calculator, don't we? Oh, look at that. Beautiful. 16 miles to go. Speed. Yeah, I was going to check the landing calculator here. Let's see what that brings as a result. So landing. So Lima Lima Golf Mike Kilo. Wind. Temperature is what, 20? And QNH. Just have to enter something here to get out this window. So that was 1012, 17 degrees. We can autofill. Okay, thank you. But that's wrong though, isn't it? Oh, 1, 2, and 17. Cool. Runway altitude is about 400 feet. Threshold elevation is 390. Above sea level, 389. Runway heading is different. So the inbound course is 333, but runway heading is a bit different. That is 337. Dry runway. Slope. It's got, I think it was uphill. Slope. Let's not consider it. Let's put a 0 in here. Runway distance available was 1,900. Approach speed, let's have a look. Approach speed says it's going to be 127. And the weight is, oh, it's actually 55.1. Flaps full is fine. Overweight no. Reverse. Let's go with no. Automatic no. Calculate. Right. So low, obviously no go, and medium 1600. So that gives us 300 meters buffer if you use automatic medium. Max manual will be 1300 meters. Those values are actually a lot more realistic. So there we go. Yeah, so automatic medium it is. Fantastic. Okay. How many miles to go? To the VOR, it's about... Why is it drawing? That's weird. It was doing that really nicely initially. Why is that messing up now? If I say I want to be at the VOR at 7,000 feet, exactly at, let's see what happens then to the descent profile. And speed, let's put speed 170 as well. Look at that, now we're 5,000 feet high. Now the aircraft's going to start pitching down like crazy. Normally it sorts itself out. Okay, good. We'll see how that goes. Flight sim dad, hey, have you ever flown through turbulence that really got you thinking about safety effort? Well, yeah. I mean, I had on a 747, we had extreme turbulences with some well, not casual, but some injured people on board as well. That was scary. I'm not lying. That was more than impressive. Do you record these cockpit videos anymore when you are flying? Well, sometimes, Klaus. The last video was only a couple of days ago that I made, but I don't film that often, no. So only when I have, like, you know, and I know I have some really interesting approaches, then I might take the camera, but I don't do it that often. MAN, if you want to, yes, sure. If you want to join, I will be on VATSIM on the second flight as well. So one thing I don't understand is why, if it's high, why doesn't it pitch down to reach the upper limit there? We're 40 miles out, so at 12,000 feet we can lose. Yeah, so I don't know why it's doing that. Let's do this in open descend then. And now it's pitching for that speed. Yeah, alright, so that's a little kind of bugged then. Good, A320neo, no technical issues, 3.5 tons of fuel. We have min diversion of 1.1 plus 1, so 2.1 ton is min diversion fuel, so we do have about a ton extra. So in case of missed approach, we'll do a second approach. We're going to fly initially the VUR approach, runway 34. We'll do that conventionally. So we use track flight path angle. And that means we'll overfly the VUR at 7,000 feet. And then we'll go up at 1 to 9 until 6 miles, turn inbound, max 185 knots, intercept 333 inbound course at 60 meters, final descent out of 2,070 feet. Down to circling altitude, which, well, it says for me, we start off at Mike India Kilo 01 or 508. We'll see what we have on the fixed page. 2,000 feet. So we're going to fly level 2,000 feet until roughly, I think it's 3 miles or something. Then we go 300 for 6 miles. 1,700 feet here at this point. 160 knots. Then we turn to this point there. Then this one there and this one there. And then we'll turn final. So the coastline, we should be about 900 feet here. And we should see, well, I'm not sure if they have parpies, but visually we try to get ourselves into the nice profile for the final descent. So 2,000 and 1,700. Let's see if I can find those waypoints in here. It's MAN, it's in the subscriber channel. Yeah, MAN. Subscriber part is in. Right, let's go. Fix info, Mike Kilo. It should have it as 508. There we go. Right. I don't think it has the other ones because simply because it's a company procedure. Let's do pilot waypoints then. We're going to take the waypoint I just mentioned, Mike Kilo 508, then track 300 for 6 miles. And we're going to name that Mick 01. Store. Let's have a look. That's a shame. It doesn't draw. Why doesn't it draw those?
The Captain Black Box Twitch channel subscriber experience. Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks, and premium flight entertainment will be served.
Yes, it has the Mike 508. It has it in it, but it doesn't do the pilot waypoints. Oh, I disregard. Hang on. Oh my bad. Sorry. It's late for me. Yeah, of course. There we go. So now we have this fix and we have this fix for the circling. Really nice. Big thank you to Mickey. Thank you so much for your support. Thanks for becoming a member.
Welcome aboard the Captain Blackbox Twitch channel subscriber experience.
Hey!
Could new subscribers please make your way to the first class cabin, where complimentary drinks, snacks and premium flight entertainment will be served. Thank you.
Chris, thank you so much for your support as well. I'm just going to go speed breaks here. Thank you, Chris, as well, for the 3 months in a row. Thank you, guys, for the support. And Chris, I hope you're doing good and you're writing. Stuck at work as usual, just checking in to say hello. That's really kind of you, Chris. I hope all is good. I hope you're feeling fine. Thank you so much. So, outbound was 129 degrees. Here comes the aircraft. And there's the island. Look at that. There's the runway. Absolutely gorgeous.
Welcome aboard the
Now we are a bit high in the approach, so we're just going to slow down a bit here. Hi, another one, Dean. Thank you so much, Dean, as well to you. Thanks for the support. Big round of applause as well. Really appreciate that. Guys, I'm just going to one circling here over the airfield. There's no point in rushing the approach, so I'm just going to go outbound 268. Just do one pattern here in the hold here. MAN, okay, I'll tell you what, guys, I'm just going to put it into the... Yeah, MAN, I'll post it to you. Hang on, I'll send you it directly, alright? Check your private message now in Discord, MAN. You'll find it. Right, 268, here comes the signs. So descending 7,000. Mykonos traffic, Itaro, 53 Romeo is entering the holding over at Mykonos, doing one pattern, and then we'll start the UR approach Zulu with a circling runway 16 in Mykonos. Welcome, I mean. Once again, thank you so much, everyone, for the support. That's really, really cool. Thank you so much for that. Good. We were saying for the circling, missed approach. Initially, we're gonna go back to the. Actually, if it's a standard missed approach, we'll go over the VOR, 333 outbound to 5, and then turn left max 185 knots back to the VOR and climb 3,500. There we go. Much better now. In case of a balk landing, so in the circling, we'll do a turn towards the runway, then turn west of the airfield and rejoin the original missed approach procedure, again climbing 3,500. So 3.5 is over the VOR, lowest. So we can go down now to 3,500. That's what I'm going to dial in here, 3.5. Thank you, Bruno. Right, and back to the VOR. Gonna slow down a bit more now. Oh yeah. So we're passing transition. I'm going to put the altimeter to 1012. Try to hit the right button. 1012. just going to check that we have the same weather here. METAR. Yeah, 1012 is fine. So 6,300 is checked. Going back to the VUR. Very nice. Again, there's the airport. Outbound 129 degrees. Actually, if I go direct to... Let's do that. Good, that should work out now. Let's get rid of the speed brakes. Flaps 1, speed is checked, flaps 1. I'm going to take this with heading mode now, or actually track mode. So we're pulling the tail of the VUR, and it should have it to 129 approximately. And we're proceeding outbound to 6 miles from Mykonos, and then we'll do the turn to final. Speed is good. Bit of outside views here. Absolutely gorgeous. Hey, Mr. Ted Barker in the house. How you doing? And John as well. Welcome. Yeah, so again, we are not doing this straight in. We're doing the visual circling. So initially, we'll do the VUR approach down to 2,000. And at 508, we're going to turn 300 degrees, proceed this waypoint, descend 1,700, maintain that until we're about, I don't know, on that arc towards the coastline, and then we'll start going down. 900 is what we should have at the coastline there, and then we'll see how it goes. Good, 3,500 is good. There we are, outbound 6 miles, and then go 333 degrees inbound. And we'll switch now to the VUR Rose mode, 5.3. Here comes flaps 2. Just going to slow down a bit more. Max speed 185, but I'm just going to, you don't get extra points for flying this fast. 6 miles. Inbound we go. Let's take a nice intercept heading here. Thank you, Bruno. So I can see the actual radial right here. So outbound, so radial will be 135. Inbound course will be 320 now in a minute. And we want to intercept the 333 degree. And then at 6 miles, we'll start the final descent down to 2,000 feet. Actually, we can go now down 2,000. So we've got thrust out, up descent, out blue. Here comes the inbound radial. Gears coming down. Nicely established on the inbound radial, and again, it is an offset, so you can see the runway there. All right, it's not a straight in; it is an offset approach. So, nice established on the inbound. And again, we are looking for that... Oh, 508. Here it is already. So
2,500.
That's for the circling. So we're now proceeding to the outstar. To Mike India Kilo 01. Flaps 3, speed is checked. We'll leave it at flaps 3 for now. Mykonos traffic, Itaro 53 Romeos, breaking off to the left west of the field for circling 16 in Mykonos. There's an aircraft there. Is he climbing? And we're going down 1,700 feet here before we start taking this manual. Good, so max 160 knots, we do have that here. It does take us out a bit from the field, but that's how our pattern is supposed to work. There's the airfield. So there's the airfield, and what it does, that pattern takes us around these little mountains here as well, these islands here, just to give us a bit more track mileage. So we're going to turn right here. Still maintaining 1,700 feet until it's about 3 miles. So that's pretty much almost a downwind leg here. There's the runway. It's a bit more than 2.5 mile offset. And from then we're going to have to start looking for the visual cues. So I'm aiming for the harbor area. So this area, that's my alignment cue for the runway. And at that point I want to be around about 900 feet. So manual flight. Speed managed, flaps full, speed is checked, flaps full. Hang on, what's the cabin doing? So still maintaining 1,700 feet, minor thrust. And progress, I want to put the runway threshold, Lima Golf Mike Kilo 16, so that I have a nice distance. So that's 4 miles. Right, so careful the speed. And now we're going to start slowly descending, not too quickly though. And missed approach 3,500 is set. Right, let's concentrate on flying the aircraft. So we're going to start descending. So 1,900 feet is what we're looking for at the area there. So there's much a base leg now. Looking for the runway. There it is. So it's not a perpendicular base leg, it is more a slanted base leg to the runway. Mykonos traffic, Itaro 53 Romeos, turning base runway 16 in Mykonos. Off, so 900 feet is what we're looking for. I don't know if the scenery has power piece or not, but there we go. Landing checklist, economical landing, no blue.
1,000.
1,000 is checked. A bit fast, yeah, sorry. Speed. So we're descending down, look at that hill there, careful of that hill. And you can see already how challenging that is.
500, 400, 300.
Yeah, so there's no power piece on this side. So you have to
300.
judge your altitude with visual reference, trying to get into a picture that looks correct to you, being aware of optical illusions that may happen.
200.
And of course, you see that little backdrop there in front of the threshold, also taking that into account. Maybe a bit shallow.
100. 100. 30. 20. 10.
Come on, and let it set down.
5.
Right, not the best. Reverse green, we have diesel spoilers. Manual brakes. Man, this aircraft feels different to the real aircraft, I have to say. Right, backtrack. So it's only a 30-meter wide runway, so we have to take the turn pad at the end. Yeah, to be honest, I don't know. It's not an excuse, right? I've been flying, I don't know how many flights I've done the last 5 days in the real aircraft. So my muscle memory regarding the brake is, you know, according to the real aircraft, and that was just too much for the fly-by-wire, so... Well, hang on, guys. So it was recorded at 129 feet per minute, officially, by SimToolkit Pro, 1G. Just yeah, right. No, I can show you that. Hang on. Why don't you guys believe me? Look. Look. Minus 129. What a great landing. Oh. Mykonos traffic, Itaro, 53 Romeos, backtracking, vacating to the apron. Collie went clear at Mykonos. MAN, have you already landed? What do you mean? I don't need to have an excuse. I have it white on green. That was a good landing. No, but in general, so you see the visual pattern is actually working quite nicely. And so you have your aim points, and that's how it will be done in real life as well. You have your visual cues, and you have your gates that you fly through laterally and vertically, and that brings you on a nice path for the final descent. Yeah, well, no PARPI is definitely something, very unusual, but still, you're going to have to deal with it. So, ask, for example, MCK, who's just doing his VFR training, PPL training. He hasn't, his airports normally don't have PARPIs either, or a lot of them. So the private fields, so all you do is you just eyeball, and you just make sure that you have that normal picture, being aware, of course, that you have optical illusions at some point. So if you have an uphill slope or downhill slope, a smaller runway than normal, again, these are visual illusions or optical illusions that you have to be aware of. Let's go a bit further. Good. All in all, though, even though I have set the sensitivity settings to what fly-by-wire have put in as recommended, I think I need to dial them down a bit. AP is on. That goes on. And 2, 1 off. Runway is vacated at Mykonos. But even the smaller airfields, Mickey, like the normal VFR fields, I'm not talking about the airports. I know the normal airports have parpies, but you know, VFR-wise, let's say Gandecker See, for example, near Bremen, I'm sure they don't have parpy lights. All right, let's see if we can get some ground handling here. So, engine spooling down, beacons going off, that's going off. That is off. That should be off as well. And then let's have a look if we can get some ground services. I don't think we have... Does that work? It should work, shouldn't it? Even though we don't have a jetway. I don't know, I'm not sure. Parking checklist. We've got the APU bleed on. Yellow LICC pump is off. We have engines off. Seatbelts off. Parking brake currently on. And radar predictor windshield is off. Those look static. What, the yellow one as well? I thought the yellow one was actually... you could be right. Yeah, I thought initially those smaller ones would be static. I don't think so, no, hang on. Aircraft. Stairs. Oh! Bob! You are the man. Nice. There we go. So we do baggage. There we go. Nice. Cool. Very nice. That's a nice first flight. And again, scenery-wise, it is gorgeous. Really fantastic. And MAN, I didn't catch your answer, MAN. Are you still in the air or... Yeah, they are doing great work, absolutely. Or have you already landed, MAN? And again, look at the scenery. Absolutely gorgeous. Let me try... Yeah, look at the sunset time. Absolutely amazing. Love it. Oh, yeah. Beautiful. Hey, MCK. Nice. Oh, yeah, it was Friday. Oh, why is the strobe still on? Lol. It was Friday nights up in Frankfurt. Yeah, I remember now. Oh, no, you had crashed the desktop. But here, inbound, because you departed. We saw you departing in Catania. Yeah, so actually Swiss Tony, it's not allowed. So at night time, you would not be allowed to land. I mean, 1.6 definitely not anyways, because you have a lot of obstacles that aren't lighted. So again, you're not allowed to land 1.6 at night time, and you're not allowed to land nighttime if the parpies aren't working for runway 34. And that's pretty obvious because of the fact that it's such a challenge here. And of course, the risk if you land, short, you're going to hit the hillside in front of the runway. So let's have a look. Do we have parpy lights? Yeah, we do. So this side actually has parpy lights. So that actually represents real life. There we go. On path. There we go. Fantastic. Lovely. Cool. You landed, you brought yourself into position, one of the drones to watch road. Oh no, okay. Alright, okay. But you did land. That's good to hear then. That's fine. Good, we are doing another flight in the fly-by-wire mod. So, since I do want to have those videos separate, I'm going to stop the stream and then restart the stream with the next flight. So I'll be back in like 3 minutes. And if you are wondering about the link, so on my YouTube channel, you find a link to the new stream. And I'm a fly from Los Angeles to Palm Springs. Again, I want to try out the VNAV mode for the approach there. Yes, so of course, at daytime, you can land on a runway without parpies. Even at nighttime, you do not need parpies officially. It's only certain airports which have a very challenging approach. They may have a restriction for you. But otherwise, you can land nighttime without ILS and without parpies. Just visual. You're 72 Bravo. Fantastic. Yeah. Join in a minute. All right, guys. Be back in 3 minutes. Thank you so much in the meantime for the amazing support again. Big thank you to Chris, to Mickey, to Dinam for the donation, and Luke as well. Thank you so much. And of course, Dean as well. Dean Barrett, thank you so much as well for becoming a member. Thank you so much, guys, for the support. All right, back in 3 minutes.